Thanks everyone for coming today. Today will be the British Transport Police Sikh Association, along with the National Sikh Police Association UK, is celebrating Vaisakhi. And today we've got, you will have seen the agenda, we've got a number of speakers lined up, which we will share with you in just a moment. So without further ado, I'm just going to hand over to BTP SA, so British Transport Police Sikh Association Chair, SIKH Asira, to welcome everyone. Thank you.
Ladies, gentlemen and distinguished guests, I and my colleagues warmly welcome you to the first Vaisakhi event the British Transport Police has ever held. It's historic and it's a proud moment, but it's also been a long time coming. I am the chair of the British Transport Police Sikh Association, and this was set up in October 2023 alongside some great people. Some of you have travelled some distance to get here, and I humbly thank you for that. And it strongly shows to me that you have attended today as you too believe in supporting our people, our partners, and most importantly, the communities that we serve, because we are the community. I want to start with a quote from one of our gurus, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, who was a visionary leader, a skilled warrior, a prolific poet, contributing significantly to our Sikh scriptures, who you will learn more about today. Those who follow the path of truth in their thought and action, he showers mercies upon them. They are granted his compassion. I found this quote quite profound and thought-provoking, and I will let you think about it and let it resonate with you all. April is a significant month for our faith within the Sikh community. Courage, sacrifice and equality are deeply ingrained in the Sikh philosophy, as it's very central to the celebrations of Vaisakhi. In Sikhi, courage is standing up for justice, defending the oppressed, and truly confronting any injustice that may come our way. We see this with what's happening in the world right now. For example, the farmers' protests in India and the war in Gaza. There isn't a lot of inhumane cruelty going on, and it's hard to know what to do at times. Our voice is the most powerful tool we have, and using this in the correct way, we can make changes. Courage and commitment to justice serves as a timeless beacon to uphold the values of righteousness. Sacrifice is essential, as it's your own devotion to our Guruji. The impact of our Guru's sacrifices also transcended religious boundaries, resonating with individuals across different communities. The sacrifices made by Sikhs are largely unknown to most people, unless you read up about our history and our stories, even those of the Indian soldiers who gave their lives in the wars. Sikhs fought for the rights of others. Sikhs fought for others to live. Sikhs fought for their faith and beliefs. Even our gurdwaras are open to everyone for free meals, classed as langar. This reflects equality, stating that regardless of your social status or religion, you are welcome, and it's a sense of unity. Vaisakhi is a reminder to embody these virtues into your daily lives. The resilience displayed by our gurus is something we can all learn from. It's an integral part of the rich tapestry of our history, reminding us of the transformative power of unwavering faith and selfless sacrifice. By having accessible networks in place, we can support, guide, and use our collective wealth of knowledge to grow and inspire together. Educating BTP and beyond about our faith groups, but by coming here today, as this event is the starting point, we can really push the message as a team. And I've always said that titles mean nothing. It's about the work we do, the communities we build, and the relationship with our partners goes a long way. A lot of us work out of hours on top of our day jobs because we are passionate. The drive is there because we want to make a difference. Everyone is on their own faith journey, but everyone should be doing seva, meaning selfless service. Anyone can do this, and let it be part of your journey. So on that note, I'm just going to say a bit of a special thank you to a couple of people. Firstly, to our Assistant Chief Constable, Sean O'Callaghan, who's sitting here in the front row, who's been really supportive in the event and also the reason why we had this building today. He also cancelled his leave to be here and to support the event. Mr. O'Callaghan is also now the COG lead for our association, and it's great he sees my vision with the network and understands why it's so important and the reasons behind it. And it's great to have a senior leader who is willing to learn and champion us, but also to push me to do better, and happy to have those honest and open conversations. We are going to be putting on other events together and also workshops where we can build up the network. And we did also have an interesting chat about titles. Also, thank you to Donna Augustus, who is Mr. Callahan's PA, and Lucy Milton, who's a diversity business partner, who'd also had all my endless emails to make sure that this event went really smooth. Rahman is not here at the moment, but he is donating the food for us, and he's actually supported this event, so I'm sure you guys will enjoy eating that. Harkirat Asi, who's also helped me in the background. She's been a big support. And then we also have Mandeep from TFL, who's been the guy who's been escorting you guys all day, and also Anoop, who's not here. But also the National Sikh Police Association family. These guys have supported me in the background. Without them, I don't know if this would ever have been possible. But also to my buddy Rav, who's the compare today, who's also helped me with lots of stuff. Cam Samra, who isn't here, he also managed to get our banner finally for the association, where we can now take it to events. Also Harvey, who just lets me get on with it, so I don't know if that's a good thing or not. But thanks to Ashna from Thames Valley Police and Jasperson from BTP, who's also helped with the registration. And we also have our speakers, Mandeep Kaur, Hukam Singh, and the whole team of Without Shape and Without Form, who will be doing a lot of the panel discussions today. But I hope today's event helps to enrich your minds and you truly enjoy it and take something from it. But please do network and get to know each other. But thank you all for coming.
Our first speaker for today is going to be talking about why Sikhs celebrate Vaisakhi. So we're thankful to Basics for Sikhi, which is an international charity that does immense voluntary work in the community, not just in the UK but internationally. It's spreading the message of Sikhi and what Sikhi is and who Sikhs are. So today we've got their representative, who is Hukam Singh, who's going to be giving us a talk. So thank you very much to him.
So thank you for the organisers for having me here today. I'm just going to go through a little bit about what Vaisakhi is and why Sikhs celebrate it. So just before we get started, let's all just do a little Mool Mantra together, and then we'll get on with the presentation. Vaiguru Ik Oamkar Satnam Karta Purakh Nirpao Nirvair Akal Murat Ajuni Sapang Gur Prasad Jap Ad Sach Jugad Sach Hai Pi Sach Nanak Hosi Pi Sach. Vaiguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaiguru Ji Ki Fateh. So just before I get started on why Sikhs celebrate Vaisakhi, it's important that I just educate a little bit about what Sikhi is and the events leading up to Vaisakhi. So we believe that Guru Nanak Dev Ji, who is our first Guru, is the manifestation on God, as God on earth. And the reason they had to come down is because at that time, in 1469, the world was pretty much burning. And there was a lot of, the Mughals had invaded India, and even within the Hindu caste systems, you had like the Brahmins, you had the Kshatris. There was a lot of a hierarchy within their own community as well. If you were a lower caste, you weren't even allowed to pray or even listen to prayers. And at the same time, all the holy people of that land were kind of just hidden away in the mountains. So that truth of that oneness of God wasn't able to spread across the whole of India. And so in that darkness, when all that how the world is just literally all gone into pitch darkness, the only person to save us in that time was the Guru. And the Guru literally translates to the one that brings change from darkness into light, ignorance into understanding. And that's exactly what our Guru has done for us today. So we're the 5th largest religion in the world. We consist of 10 Gurus, which started with Guru Nanak Dev Ji in 1469. And they gave that Guruship on to 9 other Gurus. And this was in the span of 200 years. And the reason it was that long is because to change an ideology, to change a culture, it takes time. It can't just be done in like a few years. So that's why we had 9 succeeding Gurus. And our final Guru is our scripture now. So our scripture is called Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And we see this as our We see this as our living eternal Guru now. And we believe in one creator, just like everybody else, but we believe that not only did that creator create everything, but he's also residing within the creation, and he surrounds us all here today. And that light of God is inside of every single person's heart. And it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, what religion you are, what background you come from, that light is inside of every single person, and it's the exact same. And the whole aim for us as Sikhs and as a human race is to connect to that divine light inside of us. It's not good enough to just believe in God. The aim for this human life is to connect. And the way we connect to that is through meditation on the top of our head. We call it the 10th gate. And the way we meditate is by chanting God's name. Up there you'll see the word we have for God is Vaheguru. Now, if you're from a different background, you might have another word for God. And you can chant that, and that's completely fine. And the way we would get that connection is through meditation, earning honest living, and serving humanity. So now I'm just going to talk a little bit about a few years before the event of Vaisakhi. And it all started with the Mughal emperor at the time called Aurangzeb. And he was a tyrant. He was going out literally forcefully converting people. And he decided that he wanted to convert the whole of Hinduism to Islam. Now, before I carry on, in every single community you have bad apples and you have good apples. And I just want to stress that we don't see these Mughals at that time as true Muslims. We would say that these are the bad apples of their community, just like any other community. And yeah, like he was excessively taxing people, and he was on this forceful conversion and on this mission to convert everybody. And if they didn't comply, then they were either jailed or they were killed. And he knew that the Hindus had this caste system, and he started with the Brahmins, who were at the top, the holy people. And he knew that if they can convert, and if he can get them to convert, then everybody below them would follow them. And so the only people that they could come for help was our 9th Guru. So from 1469 to 1675, we had our 9th Guru now. And his name was Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji. And their son, which you can see in the photo, was their only son, which is our 10th Guru now, Guru Gobind Singh Ji. And at that time, the Kashmiri Pandits, they were from Kashmir, and you could say that's like the Cambridge equivalent of Hindu studies and Hindu scripture studies. So they came to the Guru to ask for help. And at that time, the Guru said to them, well, a sacrifice is going to be made. And their son, the 10th Guru, actually told their dad, their own father, that who is greater than you to actually make this sacrifice? There's no one as great as you. And then he said, but you're going to be left without a father then. And he goes, that's fine. I'll sacrifice not having a father, but that just means that millions others will still have their fathers and their families. And so then a deal was made between the 9th Guru, Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji, and Aurangzeb. And the deal was that if he can convert the Guru, then he has a free pass to convert every single person. He's got this open free pass to just convert all of India to Islam now. But the Aurangzeb, he asked the Guru at the time, he goes, but why are you helping these people? You're a Sikh, like you're a Sikh Guru, you come from a completely different religion, the Hindus are a completely different religion, and why are you like stepping up to help them? And he goes, well, God has made this whole world very diverse. He's made so many different religions, and if he just wanted one religion, then we wouldn't have so many in the first place anyway. And every single religion, every single faith has their own way of connecting to that one, because there is only one creator at the end of the day. Everyone just expresses him in their own belief. And so at that time, sacrifices had to be made. So the Mughal emperor, he gave them the choice to either take on Islam or show them a miracle. And if they didn't, then they were boiled alive because they didn't comply. They were burnt alive, and one was actually sawed in half. And all they had to do was just convert. But they knew the oath that they had taken, which was to save the whole of Hinduism from going extinct. And then it came to the 9th Guru. The 9th Guru was also imprisoned. They were also tortured. And then at the end of it, they gave him one last option: just show us a miracle, or just convert to Islam. And even then, he still kept his promise and his oath to save all of Hinduism. And he was actually beheaded in Delhi, in the capital of Delhi, in front of the Red Fort. And then at that time, when his head was, when he had given his head, the Sikh that was standing in the crowd actually picked their head up and brought it back to their son in Punjab. And when he brought the head back, the Guru, the 10th Guru, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, he asked the Sikh, he goes, well, when all these atrocities were taking place, was there no one to like stand up for them? Was there no one to stick up for them? And he goes, I couldn't tell who was a Sikh, who was a Hindu, who was a Muslim. Everybody just blended in. And this is what the Guru was kind of angered about. He goes, no, I'm not having that. He goes, I'm going to create something one day where my Sikh will never be able to blend in again. And then fast forward to 1699, on the day of Vaisakhi, and the Guru stood on a massive stage and he called out to the congregation. And there was about, the historical texts say about 40,000 to 80,000. And there was all these Sikhs and he demanded a head. He said, who's willing to give their life for me now? Who's willing to give their head to me? And at that time, the whole congregation, they were a bit confused now. They were going, well, you're supposed to be this loving Guru. We see you as the manifestation of God on earth. But now you're asking like for a sacrifice. That doesn't sound very compassionate of you. But this was a test. And at that time, 5 Sikhs stood up. One by one, they all 5 gave their head. And it was a test of faith, fearlessness, humility, love and devotion. And just when the congregation was starting to panic, they started thinking, they even went up to the Guru's mother and said, I think your son's gone a bit mad here, he's taking off heads here. But just when all that confusion had settled, the Guru had brought them back to life. And he brought them back to life by blessing them with that ambrosial nectar that every Sikh takes even today. When they want to be initiated as a Sikh into the Khalsa, they take the same ambrosial nectar that the Guru created at that time. And the Guru liberated these 5 Sikhs from the cycle of birth and death, even while they're still alive. And this was the birth of the Khalsa army. The Guru has, at that time, has created their own army called the Khalsa, the army of the Immaculate. And the mission of this Khalsa is to fight for food and freedom for everybody. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, what religion you follow, it doesn't matter. We see everybody as just one. Everyone has come from that one Kriya and everybody deserves and is entitled to that help from the Khalsa. Deg Teg Fateh is the slogan that all Sikhs live by. Deg meaning food, Teg meaning freedom, and Fateh meaning victory. So the food and freedom is the victory that we all strive for. And as Sikhs, this is what we live. This is what we live by. This is what we would tell ourselves every single day. That, oh Vaheguru, oh God, grant me that one thing, that in that time of righteousness, I don't get scared. That as Sikhs, we shouldn't hesitate to do the right thing. But to do the right thing takes courage. So we ask for God for help. And we try as hard as we can to commit and do that right thing. Which is why the Sikhs are really trusted. Even like in the UK, we have a massive knife crime, but yet Sikhs are still trusted to carry their Qur'an, because not only Britain, but the rest of the world that know about Sikhs know what we stand for. And it's literally this, is that in that time where people need help, we're there. And it doesn't matter who you are, we won't judge, and we just don't hesitate, and we just go in and just perform that righteous action. So yeah, thank you for listening. I come from an organization called Basics of Sikhi. And we provide knowledge on what Sikhism is, what Sikhi is, and we do this all in English. So if you guys want to check that out, please do. And this is just one last quote that I'd like to just leave everybody with, is if you are filled with pride, then you will have no room for wisdom. I made so many mistakes, please, sorry. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much to Hukam Singh for that enlightening speech and explaining what Vaisakhi is. This year marks 325 years of Vaisakhi. So as Hukam Singh said, the first one in April in 1699. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Assistant Chief Constable Shona Callahan to the stage and thank him for all his help in organising the event today. and ask him to say a few words. Thank you.
Welcome, and Secretary Cal. I have to say thank you very much for that really enlightening opening and the history that we've all listened to there. Cease actually said that I'm very much open to learning about Sikhism, and I think many of us who are not familiar will have learned so much. In fact, one of the things I'll take away from that session, very much so, is when I have my next one-to-one with Lucy Dorsey, the Chief Constable, is to say, change can't happen quickly, Lucy. It does take many, many years. You need to consider Sikhism. And Lucy will probably turn around to me and say, Sean, that's all very well, but if you listened to the talk about Sikhism, she will be the 10th Chief Constable, so the change from the Guru 9 to 10 is really significant, so she'll probably trump me then. The other bit for me is the link between Sikhs being a lighthouse and how that actually connects with policing. Because of course if you consider a police uniform, traditionally with a tall helmet on a gentleman before we became really inclusive, and even in modern times the highly fluorescent jacket is very much a similar theme, that you're really visible to the community in times of trouble. Now it's absolutely fantastic for me to be able to do my small part and stand here today for BTP's first Vaisakhi event into the celebrations that will of course be held worldwide Saturday and the weekend. Vaisakhi celebrates the creation of Khalsa, as we've heard, from 1699, and it is fitting, I think, that this is our first event put on by SIKH in that very same birth year, the first 12 months of the BTP Sikh Association. So I think it's an absolute fabulous way that we have got here, and I think a quick round of applause for SIKH for what she's done so far. I can't actually believe, following the conversations we've had so far, the emails, the text messages, that it's already 6 months since the launch of the BTP Sikh Association. And again, that is very much where we've come so far, being down to the passion of SIKH and supported by the National Association. And a big thank you from me, Harvey, to yourself as well for the support you have given us here at BTP. Now, back in October in Birmingham, I mentioned the obvious connection between BTP and Sikhism. BTP as a police force, one of the 47 police forces in England, Scotland and Wales, is all about keeping the traveller safe. And of course we know that Sikhs have long been known to be travellers that was set out by the very first Guru, and that tradition has continued around the world. So keeping the theme of travel connected, we're here today housed in a building by Transport for London, and because of that connection with BTP, TfL have provided this venue free of charge for us today in recognition of the work we are doing. And in true competitiveness, other travel companies are available as well. I said back in October again how important it was for BTP to have a better understanding of Sikh values, and what a greater way that we can be of understanding that today collectively. And why is that important? And SIKH has made reference to one element in itself, because we know hundreds of years ago Khalsa was formed to stand up to religious oppression. And we know today that actually from the events in the world that are going on at the moment, we probably haven't learned too much at all. And if we could all pick up the Sikh values of inclusivity, community and a rich cultural heritage, wouldn't the world absolutely be a better place? And it is fabulous with that view for us today to be in this room to celebrate the event. Myself, an Irish Catholic, I know we've got Muslim members of the community, we've got Jewish members of the community, all here for the common purpose of being together as one community. Support associations throughout BTP are really important, probably more so than many police forces in the country, in the UK. And that is because BTP is across those 3 countries, and it's more important than ever that as support associations, individuals that might feel a little bit isolated in individual locations, and we have 140 in BTP, feel a common ground that they can reach out. And Lucy is 100% behind each of the support associations that we have here today. And for that being, whilst I am the COG lead for the BTP Sikh Association, equally supported today with Step Sharp, my colleague on COG, for making sure that we have the right representation. One of the greatest elements of inclusion in the Sikh community, as we have heard, is langar, the food for whatever background you are actually from. My first experience of langar was at the Gurdwara in Birmingham back in November, and I learnt something that I hadn't realised before in that common element of all sitting together, all on the same level. It's something that comes up every week when I go around the force. I will walk into a room and somebody will say, "Governor, I didn't realise you was coming. We'll rush around and find you an office." And one of the most important things I like to do is to say, "No, I'm exactly the same as you. I will sit on the desks amongst you. I don't need my own office." And in that theme, part of the work that Steph is leading, as we move into a new headquarters for the first time in the history of BTP, none of the chief officers will have a dedicated office, and we will all sit amongst everyone on the same floors, all as equal, all with a common purpose. Now, we often say, keeping on the theme of the langar, that the world is a massive place, and we often use a phrase, well, in fact, the world is a very small place. Well, that turned out to be the case for me, and you equally never know when you will meet new friends. I want to take you all back to a Saturday evening on the 5th of February 2022. I was with my wife and two friends in London for a night out, and we was getting hungry. We sat in a London black taxi and we said, "Take us to the best Indian restaurant in town." 15 minutes later, we arrived in Neal Street and was pointed to the Punjab restaurant. I have to say, the best meal, the best curry I have ever had. So from me, as the lead from COG for the Sikh Association, a real thank you to the Mann family today for providing the lunch that we will enjoy shortly. So this weekend, Sikhs will be celebrating Vaisakhi with friends and family. May you enjoy peace and happiness, and I look forward to the next time we can have an event together. Thank you.
Vaisakhi Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaisakhi Ji Ki Fateh. I'm Harvinder Singh Rai from the National Sikh Police Association. I just want to congratulate British Transport Police for hosting the Vaisakhi celebrations on behalf of the UK Police Service. We're at the building, and a big thank you to TfL for allowing us to visit your wonderful place here. And to BTP, a massive thank you to them as well for hosting today's event. The Sikh community from the UK Police Service, in particular the National Sikh Police Association and all the other Sikh associations throughout the UK, happy Vaisakhi. Okay. I'm now with Ashna Kaur. She's a member of the National Sikh Police Association. She's the General Secretary of the NSPA. Ashna, what message have you got for the Sikh community?
I'd like to say happy Vaisakhi to all celebrating from Thames Valley Police.
Vaisakhi Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaisakhi Ji Ki Fateh. मैं थोड़ा हैगा अपना Jasdeep Singh Parhill, Inspector from Birmingham at West Midlands Police. I just want to say a massive congratulations and lakh vadaiyan to all my BCP colleagues and friends and family, really. Beautiful event being put on today, and a massive happy Vaisakhi to all our Sikh fellows, as well as those that love celebrating with us as well within the community.
Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaisakhi Ji Ki Fateh. I am Balraj Sohal, Chief Inspector, West Midlands Police. We're currently here today celebrating Vaisakhi with British Transport Police, and I'd like to congratulate them and all the community, the Sikh community, on this auspicious occasion. Vaisakhi Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaisakhi Ji Ki Fateh.
Sat Shri Akal, मैं Harjinder Chimma from West Midlands Police. Sarah lakh vadaiyan Vaisakhi dio. Yeah, it's been a great pleasure being at the event here today. The first BTP Vaisakhi event held here at the Transport of London building. Well done to CC, and thank you to the Assistant Chief Constable for attending today. A really worthwhile event and a lot of knowledge about Sikhism and the Vaisakhi day itself.
Vaiguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaiguru Ji Ki Fateh. ਆਪਣੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਨੂੰ ਵਿਸਾਖੀ ਦੇ ਲੱਖ ਲੱਖ ਵਧਾਈਆਂ। ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਬ੍ਰਿਟਿਸ਼ ਟਰਾਂਸਪੋਰਟ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਦੇ ਜੋ ਹੈੱਡਕੁਆਰਟਰਸ ਹੈ ਕਨੈਰੀ ਵੋਫ ਉੱਥੇ ਆਏ ਹਾਂ। ਇੱਥੇ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਿਸ਼ੇਸ਼ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਹੋਇਆ। ਸੋ ਬ੍ਰਿਟਿਸ਼ ਟਰਾਂਸਪੋਰਟ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਸਿੱਖ ਐਸੋਸੀਏਸ਼ਨ ਇੱਥੇ ਅੱਜ ਵਿਸਾਖੀ ਮਨਾਈ ਆ। ਸੋ ਜਿੰਨੀ ਵੀ ਟਰਾਂਸਪੋਰਟ ਦੀ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ ਰੋਡਾਂ ਦੀ ਟ੍ਰੇਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਉਹ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਮਹਿਕਮਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਤਰੱਕੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ। ਇੱਕ ਸਿੱਖ ਐਸੋਸੀਏਸ਼ਨ ਬਣਾਈਆਂ ਉਸ ਮਹਿਕਮੇ ਦੀ। ਸੋ ਅੱਜ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਪਹਿਲਾ ਵੱਡਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਆ। ਸੋ ਦਾਸ ਜਗਤਾਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਗਿੱਲ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਏਡ ਤੋਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਸੱਦਾ ਆਇਆ ਸੀ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਬੁਲਾਰੇ ਆਏ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਕਿ ਇੱਥੇ ਦੇ ਜੋ ਬ੍ਰਿਟਿਸ਼ ਟਰਾਂਸਪੋਰਟ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਦੇ ਹੈੱਡ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਸੀਨੀਅਰ ਆਫਿਸਰ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਕਹਿ ਕੇ ਗਏ ਆ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਸਿੱਖ ਐਸੋਸੀਏਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਵਧੀਆ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਾ। ਇਹ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੀ ਹੋਰ ਭਰਤੀ ਹੋਵੇ। ਬ੍ਰਿਟਿਸ਼ ਟਰਾਂਸਪੋਰਟ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੀ ਗਿਣਤੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਪਰ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੀ ਆ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਐਸੋਸੀਏਸ਼ਨ ਆ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੇਨ ਮਕਸਦ ਇਹ ਆ ਕਿ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਇਸ ਟਰਾਂਸਪੋਰਟ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਪਾਉਣ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਨੌਕਰੀਆਂ ਕਰਨ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਜੋਬਾਂ ਕਰਨ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਤਰੱਕੀ ਕਰਨ। So it's another example where the Sikh infrastructure of the UK is growing. Lots and lots of these Sikh associations are springing up. And I thank the National Sikh Police Association, the Metropolitan Police Sikh Association and the police force itself to ensure that Sikhs have a greater voice and greater participation in the workforce. So ਅੱਜ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਫਿਰ ਵਿਸਾਖੀ ਦੀਆਂ ਲੱਖ ਲੱਖ ਵਧਾਈਆਂ। ਤਾਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਚੈਨਲ ਦੀਆਂ ਵਧਾਈਆਂ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਇਹ ਇਵੈਂਟ ਕਵਰ ਕੀਤੀ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। Can you see the difference straight away? Yeah, so yeah, we've come far or near, but yeah, let's just make the most of this time here. So Panji asked me to talk about Sikhi and well-being, that how the faith can help us to live our best lives, basically. You already heard the history and the background of Vaisakhi, Sikh history. So I will not be going into that. So that's not my topic today, but we might try to link in that when we celebrate these days, how we can also uplift our well-being, our mental health. Why faith? Yeah, there's so many things out there, outreach programs, but has faith has a role to play in any way? And I'll be asking you for some thoughts, some reflections. It's not a test in any way. Please give your thoughts. You have heard from absolutely brilliant speakers, so I like to do more like talk as an interaction. So please give your some thoughts as it happens. So my first question to you is define well-being. What does well-being means to you? So maybe some point, some word, sentence, because I only have 20 minutes. So go for it.
Balance.
Balance, okay, great.
Someone who can sleep at night without your mind sort of buzzing.
Wow, that's powerful, isn't it? Okay, thank you.
Support when you need it.
Support when you need it, right? Any more? Yeah.
Personal care.
Personal care. Okay. That's
Stability.
it. Stability, right? Yeah.
Freedom of choice.
Freedom of choice, right? As Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji provided for everyone, as you heard. Okay, so thank you for that. So can you see, it's so many things coming up. So I will share this with you. So this is the definition of the UK Department for Health and Social Care. Feel free to have a read. What does he say? Does he resonate with you in any way? Might does, might not for some people. What I took out from this is that this is very subjective. Yes? So based on your individual experiences. Does that mean we have a control over it? Does that mean I can change my well-being based on the way I want to have my perceptions and thinking? That is what I took. What do you think? Is it subjective or is it given? Can it be changed? Can I change from a sleepless night to a peaceful sleep, for example, as you shared? Do we have a capacity? What do you think? Yes, no, maybe?
Stressful just trying to read it.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's stick to our own definition. Stability, right? A good sleep, a balance, and all of that you said. Okay, so then how Sikhi offers well-being? That's what we're going to look at this. Before we do this, let's understand what causes a decline in well-being, right? So what is opposite of well-being? So again, maybe give some points to me. And that doesn't mean in any way that when you're saying that word, that means you have that decline in your life. So that's not the idea. Just generally speaking, as an umbrella, what do you think can cause a decline in someone's well-being? So I put some things here, just as you were saying it, whatever came to my mind, I put some things here as well. Unfulfilled expectations, I'm working on them right now. So that was right at the top of my list today. Desires, some baggage that I'm holding from past or even current, lack of resources, health issues, relationship, anger, and all of that you said, plus much, much more. Okay, who decides all of this? I understand you have mentioned domestic abuse. Is that in your control or is it not in your control? Things like that. And I'm not necessarily looking for an answer. I'm just probing you to think, to reflect, because what I was going to say was, behind all of this, there is something that works very powerfully, whether it's an anger, my baggage, my desires, and to some extent my health issues, could be other things as well that you mentioned. What is that? Which has a power to switch instantly from being stagnant to growth, from decline to well-being. Yeah.
I'm going to give it a go. Perspective.
Yeah. Perspective comes from?
Action.
Sorry? Action. Okay. I'm looking for a word, a particular word. Yeah.
Yourself.
Yourself, yes. And the word is?
Accepted.
Sorry?
Accepted.
Okay. So the word is? Faith. Faith comes from what? Somebody said that. Mind. Okay. It's called mind. So you have a choice today. How would you define mind? You have a choice today. And we have a choice every day. How do we define mind? Do you think? I didn't Google that one, by the way. I did Google the well-being definition, not this one. So I'm going to offer you a few definitions. And I would just like you to pause for a moment and choose your own out of that. Is that okay? Okay. Let's see what you think. So where do you sit? You probably don't want to answer this, but just ask yourself. And there might be many more. So this is just few to give you perspective of that what power our mind has, what definition we choose, not only from day to day, week to week, month to month, but moment to moment. So the same thing seen by a particular lens of a mind can change in the next moment. And I will invite you to think about your family, in your own houses, in your relationships, at workplaces, in your professional space, walking down the street. Yeah. What do I dwell on? Or I'm constantly mastering intelligence, or I'm constantly inhibiting what my qualities are. So do you get an answer when you ask yourself which definition sits with you in this moment of time, as in today? Do you get some answer? And I'm not saying you have to choose one. You might be somewhere in between, somewhere, maybe rolling from one to another as well. But the idea is to reflect. So let's then, we have understood that this comes from this thing called mind, which has so much power in our well-being, that whether we are on the great side or we are on the decline side. So let's look at it from the Sikh lens. And forgive me for the fonts. So I used a Gurdas font, which hasn't come through, but I'll try to explain. So this is Gurbani. So Guru Granth Sahib Ji, our text of Guru's writings, Guru's wisdom, is everything for a Sikh. Every single thing. It was then, it is now, it will ever be. It's the guiding force, the direction. How do I live my life? What sort of mindset I have, what sort of perspectives I have, what sort of faith, hope, trust I have. All of that comes from that Sikh psyche, which is then driven by Guru Sahib, the text, as I say. So I'm looking at it from the Sikh lens now. So this is Baba Faridji's Salok. You would have heard that. So let me say that and then we'll go into it. Farida man maidan kar, toye tibbe la. Agge mool na avasi dojak sandeep aaye. So any Punjabi people, if you know what toy and tibbe means, give me a good English. My English is not that great. So toy tibbe, how will you translate that in English? Okay, yeah, that's toy. What's a tibbe then?
Big potholes.
Not really. So toy is like a pothole, but then the tibbe is the opposite of a pothole, which still is equally or can be equally dangerous. You can trip, right? Do you get me? So the hollows and heaps I found, I don't know whether that resonates, those who don't understand Punjabi. So Faridji is saying, man maidan kar. Man is mind, maidan is?
Ground.
Yeah, so flat surface. So opposite to potholes, and what was the other one? The mountains, the little mountains, whatever you want to call it. So something, anything which can cause you suffering, a disaster, a danger, get rid of that and make your mind a level, a plain field, right? What will happen then? So this is, translation is always literal, so but let's try to dwell into that. Then this experience of highs, lows, sleepless nights, imbalance, instability, all of that, which actually make our life hell in this moment of time, not waiting after death for the hell or the heaven, but right now. And I'm sure many of us would have experienced whatever this experience of hell is, not sure about heaven, but definitely hell is, when things are not going right. We feel like that. And we even call it, my life is like hell, right? What is happening there? All these toy and tibbe are kicking in, the highs and the lows, the ups, the downs of life. So how do we do this? And again, I'll only share 2 more verses with you, but simply attract what serves you in Western terminology. If something is not serving you, why are we putting our energy into that? And how that then changes my perspective, my well-being within a moment. In one moment of time, I can be right high and then straight to the low within a moment. What changed? Who changed me? I don't like it. But then something is forcing me to do that. Do I have a capacity? Always remember, you're more powerful than your thoughts. You have more power. You are a divine being. As Hukam Singh Ji earlier said, we all have that divine empowerment given to us through the Creator. And we just need to then dive into that potential of being divine. If divine is so powerful, if we are the children of divine, we have a power too, right? They say, strong father, strong mother, strong children. You know, in other faiths, we hear that as well. If we're constantly going to focus on the shortcomings, negative, then we will attract that. And if we start focusing on the positivity, the good things, that is what we start attracting then. So simple, put your energy where it flows and blossoms with a higher purpose. So in simple terms again, putting that, trying to make it plain, rather than constantly in the highs and the lows. Now, by saying this, I don't think I'm trying to say that you will never have ups and downs in life. That is life. Life means that, I guess. But then having that faith, having that grounding will hold your hand, basically. You will stay grounded to the extent that you will not drown in that high tides or something happening. You don't allow that to happen to yourself. Yes, change small habits. Man bach karam, that's for another time. I guess my time is over. So happy Vaisakhi to all of you. Thank you very much for having us here. Thank you very much for helping. I know how much it matters to Sunita to organize this. and hope many of these events keep coming and we keep spreading Guru's message, not only for Sikhs, but anyone can benefit from Guru's wisdom. You all know that. So hopefully that resonated to some extent. Please forgive me for any mistakes that I might have made. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Thank you very much to Mandeep Kaur for her talk, enlightening as ever. And it's great to have a bit of a well-being element to today's proceedings as well. I'm going to invite Amrit Singh Maan, OBE, to just for a couple of minutes. Amrit is, I think, the third or fourth generation, well, he'll tell us anyway, a fourth generation to take over the Punjab restaurant, and he's kindly donated all the food today. So want to thank him, but also say a couple of words.
First of all, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh, and good morning. I've got the slot before lunch, crikey. I will be a couple of minutes, but first and foremost, it's lovely to be invited here. Thank you for allowing us to sponsor the lunch today. The guys are outside. For those who don't know me, my name's Amrit. I'm the MD of the Punjab Covent Garden. It's one of the oldest and first Indian Punjabi Sikh restaurants in the UK. And it gives me immense joy to be here today, surrounded by colleagues, friends, and guests of honour, Assistant Chief Constable. And I'm sure the food will be ready once I'm done. It's a real privilege for us to sponsor this lunch. We proudly support many government networks, such as the Met Police Sikh Association, the National Police Sikh Association, and the Defence Sikh Association. And our support is provided with no expectations, no conditions, and purely in line with Sikh and universal values of community support and server. I'm actually an ex-civil servant, and about 24 years ago I used to be in Whitehall, and food there was atrocious. The Punjabi samosa and pakore were just alive. They were bland, and they were always provided by someone had the audacity to provide some in-house catering, and I'm so pleased that there's supply diversity today. On behalf of my father, Sardar Seetal Singh Maan, who's sunbathing in the village in Punjab, he sends his best wishes and says Happy Vaisakhi to you all. Over 2 decades ago, he actually was quite pivotal in establishing the Metropolitan Police Sikh Association, and it was his desire that I really support other police associations. Our commitment and support is unwavering. Policing in London, I guess in the UK, is complex, it's dynamic. It does require a balanced approach, combining proactive crime prevention with responsive community engagement. We stand by your side and really acknowledge the challenging and essential work that you will do in protecting communities. I personally acknowledge the sacrifice and risks that police officers face in the line of duty to ensure the safety and security of our others. And we've had a number of Sikh officers in line of duty, such as Special Constable Resham Singh Nahal, 2020, PC Kulwant Singh Sidhu, back in 1999, and of course PC Karbal Sandhu in 1973, who all tragically passed away in their line of duty. So may we never forget them, and I'd love to speak to Harvey or others about doing some sort of adas on an annual basis, a blessing. In every corner of the globe, faith belief holds significant sways over the lives of billions. So recognising, acknowledging and accepting the importance of faith is a key element of an inclusive workforce and workplace. So I'd like to extend a personal thank you to Assistant Chief Constable Sean O'Callaghan. You're here today. It means a lot, and thank you, sir. I know you're super busy. Your intro must be really heavy, but thank you for your support and dedication to funding and founding this new Sikh faith network. It's crucial. Most people know I'm the guy with the samosas. I'm quite happy to have that honour. I'm at most community events with food. People may not know that I actually have a legal background, obviously I keep quiet, and I've got grassroots links to the community, which is a family trait started by my great-grandfather back in 1930s. He really inculcated into my family the purpose, the meaning of community spirit, and he constantly instilled, infused, embedded in my kind of family DNA to always uphold the core principles of Sikhism, which is, including devotion to the one source, the divine, equality, and service to humanity. I pull no punches. My family and I have always been of service to those vulnerable and need. We give a voice to the voiceless, and we stand up against bullies and perps, who, particularly those in position of trust and power. We have no fear. It must be the water in Covent Garden. But I do wear many badges. I am an investigative solicitor and I'm a magistrate. I sit at Westminster and City of London. It's hard work, it's rewarding, but it's so important to have diversity, not just in workforce diversity, but also in business diversity, as well as judicial diversity. Our community, although vibrant, visual, influential, it faces various challenges that requires attention and action. We only represent, 0.9% according to the last census, and yeah, we do punch above our weight. We own our homes and we do a lot of charity. However, as a community, we do need to address a lot of issues. And where do I start? I mean, I could just go off mental health, gender equality, domestic abuse, violence against women, young girls. And so our Sikhs in the UK, we've got a really complex landscape, and from discrimination, hate crimes, there's a lot there. And then really finally, it's understanding these issues is crucial for fostering inclusivity, and that's where a network like this, the British Transport Police Sikh Association, can play a part. Members and officers can help address issues affecting our community and ensure that our Sikh voices are heard in policy making and decision making processes. I work with a lot of young Sikhs. There is a balance between maintaining cultural traditions and embracing modernity. It can be challenging, but we need more initiatives, and future generations of Sikhs must maintain a strong connection to our cultural roots. And I'm so pleased to see Mandeep here and others. And then just finally, through education, advocacy, collaboration, community partnership, we could work towards a future where Sikhs in this country, in our country, can thrive without fear or prejudice or discrimination, and where our contributions to society are valued and celebrated. I welcome the establishment of this great network. You've got a brilliant chair, inspiring chair. You'll do wonders. And as your samosa wala, it's time to enjoy your lunch. Thank you. Waheguru Khalsa, Waheguru.
So you'll be happy to know I've prepared a full paid speech to just ensure the food gets cold. No, so very quickly, just wanted to say a quick roundup. Thank you everyone for attending and make this event a successful event today. Well done to the B2B Sikh Association, particular Sikhs, for putting it on. Particular a warm thank you to BTP in particular, as well as Lucy Dorsey, as well as the Assistant Chief Constable Shona Callahan, and for all these ongoing. So Mandeep Kaur, as always, and MOD Sikh Association, Basics of Sikhi, and Badi Hukum Singh for his great speech earlier on, his talk. And a massive thank you to you all for making this event and making it such a success. It's really important that we all get involved on the local level. We set up the Harveys here, us as well as two others set up the National Sikh Police Association, so we could provide that voice. The MPSA, which I was chair of for a number of years, and that was set up in '97. So it's the oldest Sikh association in the country. It was set up just after the BPA was set up in the Met. And it's so important that Sikhs have a voice so that they can raise the issues. So over the years, we've had, for example, the first Sikh to join the Garda in Northern Ireland only a couple of years ago, and they had to reach out to myself in the Met to say, what do we do about uniform? And it was like that conversation that was so useful for them to be able to actually support that applicant through to becoming a police officer. And even today, we still have those, an inspector or someone inquiring about the articles of faith, and it was so important. Over the past few years, we were able to come together with the College of Policing and put together guidance which would be readily available to all police forces around the Panch Kakar Sikh articles of faith. Because that's often the first question that will come up in the minds of practicing Sikhs, as well as other Sikhs will have other questions, and it's so important to be able to link in with people and just ask those questions and say, well, what are the issues that you face and how can we collectively combat them? So, and in line with Vaisakhi, so I just want to say happy Vaisakhi to everyone. So Vaisakhi ne lakh lakh vadaiyan. So Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. It's a pleasure to be here today at the British Transport Police Association Vaisakhi event. It's a wonderful insight to see different communities working together and how the police are accommodating for us Sikh festivals. Happy Vaisakhi.
Today has been a great event for British Transport Police and the British Transport Police Sikh Association. Just after a year of the launch of the association back in October of 2023, this is the first major event to bring people together within British Transport Police from the Sikh community and those wider. The importance of today is to recognise different people's cultures, but for me it's understanding the values of Sikhism and how we can all learn from that, especially from myself, especially in the art of mindfulness and actually living your life on a steady plateau. That's something I will be taking away from today. And I'd like to thank everyone for the organisers to bringing us all together to recognise that working together, inclusive as one community, can have massive benefits. And I would like to wish everyone a happy Vaisakhi for this coming weekend. Peace and happiness to everyone. Thank you.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Myself, Sergeant Chamandeep Singh. We are part of Defence Sikh Network. Today we are celebrating Vaisakhi, organised by British Transport Police. It has been an amazing day. It has been a good event.
It's really great to see that we have Sikh organisations like the British Transport Police across all societies. So it's really great that we have the Sikh voice in the Army, across Ministry of Defence and British Transport Police. And we need more and more of these organisations set up by employees of these organisations to make sure that the Sikh voice is heard and we can advocate for our community within these organisations. Sare Sikh Jagat nu, Sare Sikh Sangatan nu, Vaisakhi diyan बहुत बताइयां British Army वालों ते Defence Sikh Network वालों.
Happy Vaisakhi. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Okay, my name's Alicia Tumba. I'm a detective from the Metropolitan Police, and I'm here for the Vaisakhi event hosted by BTP and the National Sikh Police Association. And I just want to say happy Vaisakhi to everyone. The event was great, and it was a great place to network and learn a bit more about Vaisakhi and Sikh culture. I think having our own association definitely gives us a voice. It gives us a place of safety, and being a Sikh person in the police force and in a police force, you definitely need a